Oh, oh. Wait a minute. Am I live for real? It's been so long since I've been live, y'all. Hey, it's time to check some realities. There's a lot going on out here. It's been a long time, but I'm back. And it's time to check some reality. It's been on my spirit for a minute. These vaccines, they are just mandated, and as of late, although they're blaming it on Omicron or whatever, the numbers have been rising, which is a call to action for people to get, for more people, I should say, to get vaccinated. No. It just strikes me as so crazy odd because this whole thing here just seems so controlling. You want someone to get a vaccination that you can still get COVID, you can still go to the hospital, you can still die after being vaccinated. And yet they want you to go get vaccinated. For me, it seems as though the more people that they get vaccinated, the more people that's popping up positive as COVID. But yet they want to keep telling us that it's the unvaccinated that's popping up with COVID. They keep using the words common sense. Common sense. Let's use some common sense. Why don't we? Let's use some common sense. So, you have flight attendants. Since the mandates, they mandated hospital workers, flight attendants, companies, big, Fortune 500 companies, which includes airlines. They're doing it with police officers, firemen, which all these people are, being mandated to get vaccinated. Numerous flights have been canceled over this past week due to employees being out on COVID. And these are vaccinated employees out on COVID. Numerous nurses and doctors, that also shortage at the hospitals. And they're saying that, they're overwhelmed because of the amount of patients they're having in this uprise of positive COVID, unvaccinated people. But people are out, some due to the fact that they don't want to take the vaccine, who actually stood for themselves and said, no, we're not taking that vaccine, you're not forcing me. Some did take the vaccine and are now COVID positive. Okay. So they're not able to come into work. Then you have, let me see, because I took notes. Okay. You have all these people that are out. Police officers, firemen, they're having delayed responses. It's just a lot going on. And it's not funny. It's not funny at all. But this is what's happening here. This is what's happening. And these are the people that are missing in action. These are the people that are missing in action. All the state, city, and government employees that they are forced to take this vaccine, they are now coming COVID positive. And so, they always you always like to have your own experiences. No, I heard this and heard that, whatever. But my granddaughter, who, because they mandated children to have to take the vaccine if they want to do sports activities, right? So she wanted to do track, and my granddaughter, healthy 14-year-old, never positive for COVID, healthy, no issue, takes the vaccine. 2 weeks later, she is tested positive for COVID. Come on. My grandmother, 94 years old, went into the hospital for some other things. They tested her. She was negative when she came in. A few weeks after being in the hospital, because she was there for a while, tested positive for COVID, but no symptoms. Now, she's 94. And she was in there for other issues. So she had other underlying issues. Praise the Lord. She pushed through, okay? But she had no symptoms. That asymptomatic thing keeps bothering me. It just, I don't know how you can have something and you have no symptoms. It's just weird to me. It strikes me as strange. But, hey, I am no doctor. I'm no biologist, no, scientist, so. But anyway, that's my little stories. Like, for me, I've had COVID, okay? I never took the vaccine. I won't take the vaccine. I just don't care about that. I don't want any false antibodies in my system when my body is capable of naturally creating its own antibodies and fighting the virus and or disease, illness in my body on its own, which it has successfully, okay? And many people have taken that vaccine and they got COVID. They have gone to the hospital. They have also died. They don't want to tell y'all that, okay? They don't want to tell y'all that. They censor all of that. Sweep everything underneath the rug that has anything to do with the that goes against the objective, which is pushing this vaccine, okay? I have so many thoughts on this whole situation. Common sense thoughts, because as they say, this is a common sense thing, right? That's what our president said today about the decision that, what he said? What did he say? He said that the court, we need to make sure that our healthcare workers are now boosted. He said that he was disappointed in the Supreme Court that chose to block a common sense life-saving requirement. Common sense life-saving requirement. I don't think those that are home with COVID or going through the COVID now after taking this vaccine would agree with that. I really don't. I mean, numerous people have said after taking the vaccine they felt sick. They was weak in the body, and it took them some time to get it together. But there's no active or live piece of the virus, as they say, in the vaccine. What is in that vaccine? What does it do? I can go into it because I've been doing my own little research. It's not great, but I've been doing some research. And, Everybody wants to say nanotech this and nanotech that, and no, I don't think. I don't know. It could be a nanotech thing. I'm not sure. But what I do know and what I have found, and for them to be saying nanotech would be for me to see how this mRNA teaches your cells how to, basically duplicate the spiked proteins that's on the virus that causes COVID. So that to me seems odd. It's like something is teaching my cells how to duplicate, but then my cells are becoming what that antibody is that you put, it's duplicating into that antibody. That's what it says. Y'all love to Google shit. So that's what Google is saying, okay? That's what they're saying. That it teaches our cells to make harmless pieces of spiked protein, okay, which is found on the surface of the virus that causes COVID. Then causing our cells to create spiked protein, the same spiked protein, on their surface. So that says to me that you got my cells up in here, my little immunity, my white cells, my cells, turning into the spiked proteins that you have put into my body and duplicating, manipulated by what you have put into my body. I don't like that at all. Okay? I don't like that at all. And how many of those things, how often does it duplicate? How many does it duplicate? You want people to take 2 shots or 1, but they'll take the 2 shots. Just say they take the 2 shots. They get COVID now. After the first shot, you already have some of these antibodies in you, right? That's who knows how many. And your cells are duplicating that. They're imitating the vaccine, right? So then you go to the second shot. So now you're doubling up on the mutation, per se, of these antibodies that you have put into my system, or the system, and the cells are now also duplicating what you have put into the system. Doubling up. Okay, so on top of that, you now want them to booster. I don't know the level of booster. Is the booster similar to the actual vaccine? Or is it just a little bit less of a percentage of the vaccine? But the point is, it still manipulates your cells to duplicate the spiked proteins, antibodies, that causes the COVID virus. So now you're kind of like tripling up on it. Now you have all these antibodies, spiked proteins or whatever you call them, in your system unnaturally, because they're put into your body. So your body didn't create that. And they have manipulated, or as they say in Google, trained, and they teach your cells to become like them over and over again. Somebody said, check your reality. I prefer for my body to do its own natural thing, which is even stronger. My immunity, my immune system, my white cells, they get this virus, they see it, they attack, they fight it, and then they build an immunity, a knowledge, and an awareness to this virus. So the next time you try to come up in here, if you try to come up in here again, we're gonna whip your butt again. We're gonna give it to you even better. Because now we're ready. We done fought you once, we know exactly how to handle you. And that's that. Naturally. Okay? It hasn't changed my cells. My cells are still the same. The virus is gone. Gone. Because it's whipped its butt and it's pushed it out of my system naturally. That's what our natural immune system does. But your vaccine puts in antibodies that teaches our cells to emulate what's in the vaccine. And those spiked proteins are now on the surface of our cells, which means they remain there in our system. Let's talk about the side effects that they don't talk about, because they don't talk about the side effects. Because as any true FDA approved vaccination, they always tell you the side effects. They very rarely talk about the side effects. People have to go online and tell their stories about what they're going through after taking the vaccine and the side effects. They still get censored. But this is what's happening. Side effects. Let's see. I wrote a few down from what I've seen. Okay. Yes, you can hear the paper rattling. And so they was talking about, I probably can't even pronounce it correctly, myocarditis. It's an enlargement of the heart. And this is in youngsters, youngins, that this happens. Males, young adolescents, as I said, on y'all Google, because y'all love Google, okay? Young adolescents, male, and young people, okay? This enlargement of the heart. After 2 doses, this is the risk that they face. And they want you to give this to your kids. And they say, hey, COVID or enlarged heart? Hey, come on. Just pick your poison. It's been proven that many people have been able to survive COVID on their own. Yes, many, many people have died. That's not anything I can ever dismiss, ever. And you'll never hear me say that this isn't real, okay? This definitely is a real situation here. But I'm not talking about the fact that whether this is a real situation or not. I'm talking about the circumstances that's surrounding this situation, the pandemic, the forces behind this, the liberties that not me, because I know the people that I'm dealing with, okay? So, no. But anyway, side effects. Let's get back to that. We talked about the enlargement of the heart. Then there's blood clots, because, Johnson & Johnson did blood clots. But it's not just Johnson & Johnson. All of them potentially give you blood clots. You still get blood clots potentially from all those vaccines. Each one of them. Don't matter who gave them to you. Smaller blood clots, because Johnson & Johnson went all the way. Their shit was big. Just say bomb. But the others, smaller blood clots are possible. Okay? Then you have the nerve damage. You've seen some people, they said they got that little tick. Their nerves was just different afterwards. Then they just had little ticks and nerves damage afterwards. This is a new one that they're not really talking about, and I honestly haven't heard about it, but I know it's true because my husband, who was forced to take the shot because he is a healthcare worker, he don't eat sweets. He don't drink soda, none of that stuff like that at all. He was diagnosed with diabetes after he was vaccinated. That was part of his side effect. He ain't never had diabetes. And then I spoke to someone and they was telling me they had heard that too, or something from somebody else. I'm like, damn, diabetes? I heard in the beginning that they was talking about how people were coming up testing positive for HIV. Like, what? Was that before or after the vaccination? I can't remember. But what I do remember is your little Dr. Forsey or Forsyth, whatever his name is, and I'm not trying to be rude. I just really can't remember how to pronounce it. Said that the vaccinated were the ones pushing out the Delta variant. They were the creation of the Delta variant. I remember that. I remember him saying that. I have it here. I screenshotted it when he said it, and and it was funny to me because I'm like, just like the nurse said, why the mandates? I mean, really, people, if we stop and think about it, just stop and think about it. You're being mandated to take a vaccine that doesn't really cure you from anything. You can still catch the virus. You can still go to the hospital, be hospitalized. You can still die. So why are you being mandated to take this vaccine seriously? What's in this vaccine they so want to change in your body? I remember hearing how this vaccine changes your RNA. I didn't even know we had an RNA. I'm telling you, this whole COVID thing got a chick learning about her body and trying to, really DNA and system and things that I just was taking for granted. Okay, I'm still no scientist, no biologist, but I'm just saying it's got me researching me, checking me. Who am I? So I had to find out what the RNA is. Like DNA, it's damn important for us, for life. It says that it's partially responsible for the creation of life, supposedly. They feel the Big Bang. So, as I Googled, because you know how y'all love Google, so I'm living on Google. It says RNA is responsible for turning genetic info into your body's proteins. It carries the genetic instructions for many viruses and may have helped life get its start. That's what it said. Playing a critical part of life itself. RNA. That's what struck me. It carries the genetic instructions for many viruses. So you're putting all these spiked proteins into a system, manipulating or teaching its cells to emulate the spiked proteins and become that. What does that do to your body, yo? It's changing your cells, it's changing your makeup, your genetic makeup. I mean, this whole thing has been suspect from the very beginning. And everybody, I don't know if y'all just, like, people are waiting for this zombie apocalypse. And they feel it's like they're waiting in the movies, the movie version. They're waiting to see The Walking Dead and people just running around looking to eat your brains and shit. But I truly believe that is a metaphoric statement of true zombie apocalypse, which is people just walking around robotically, no longer thinking for themselves, just moving along, being controlled and allowing themselves to be controlled, which is happening here. Y'all walking around with these masks on your face outside. You ain't getting no fresh air. You're not breathing no fresh oxygen. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's causing people to they're crazy out here in these streets, yo. They're not even thinking, they doing wild stuff. They angry. They just it's just a lot. And y'all just taking these vaccines. You not even listening to the wording that's coming out of these people's mouths that's mandating y'all to take these vaccines. Seriously. And I get it. I get it because I'm keeping my spot. God is my witness. I'm doing what I got to do to keep my house over my head. Okay? I want to keep my job too. I really do. And don't nobody want to lose their job. Don't want nobody want to struggle to freaking, as you struggling as it is to feed your family. Nobody want to struggle any more than that shit. I get it. Because they threatening your job. They know exactly how to get you to do what they want you to do. But you know what I admire about those people back in the days of, the beginning stages of Martin Luther King and protesting and Malcolm X and stuff like that, is that they supported each other in the fight. The biggest thing that sticks with me was when they was having the bus boycott, and those who had cars drove, those in, did the carpooling, and others walked together to where they had to go, even though it was a long ass walk. But the thing is, they supported each other in the fight. And I admire that. Like, yes, it would definitely be a hard hit, but just as much as we need them, I should say, for our pay and our checks, they need us too. You need EMTs, you need nurses, you need firemen and policemen. If you didn't have these people coming to work, shit would be utter chaos, okay? It'd be utter chaos in these streets. And the fact that you are willing to put on such a hardship to these people that dedicate their lives to this city and keeping this city running, and you would just not even give a fuck about that and put the pressure on them to take this vaccine. Okay? After them giving themselves to the state, the city, to help keep it running, or they're gonna lose their jobs. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay? And I know I see y'all out there fighting. I support y'all. Go for it. Okay? I see y'all out there fighting and saying, standing up for yourselves, and nurses and firemen taking yourselves to the other space, and that's messed up for us here who really support y'all. But I support y'all to go because I don't blame y'all if you can't get the respect here and you're being forced to do something that you don't believe in, and people are like, it's just so crazy. You're still getting COVID even though you're getting the vaccine, and you have to still wear a mask. I don't know how this makes sense to you people. I don't understand how this makes sense. You taking a vaccine, but you still have to wear a mask. And you still get the fucking COVID. And people still go to the hospital, and people still have died off of this. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I have a friend whose mother just died of COVID complications. Like, come on. And a lot of people who already have illnesses or whatever is you put them around COVID, they're in a hospital with COVID people. If COVID is in the air, if you're in a household with somebody who has COVID, because this is how I got COVID, because this person had COVID, didn't tell me about it, but whatever the case is, they had COVID, and I spent time in their house. It took 2 days. I'm no lie to you. By the second day I was there, I started to feel the effects of the COVID, of the symptoms. Sniffling, the cold kicked in. And I hadn't been doing that because I got myself tested before I even went over there. So I was negative. So I knew I was good, because that's what I do. I ain't trying to get nobody sick. I don't want to be responsible for none of that. So that's what I do. If I'm going to somebody's house, if I'm going somewhere like that, especially I'm getting on a plane or I'm traveling, I'm going to make sure that I am negative. Okay? And I still wear my mask, because, people are crazy. I ain't got time for it. Even though I'm not all for it. Anyway. 2 days, too. 2 days. So you're going to have people who are already sick in the hospital. That vent is ventilating. The air is circulating. That shit is just traveling from room to room to room to room to room, infecting people. People coming in the hospital negative and becoming positive in the hospital, getting COVID. It ain't always the unvaccinated. Okay? You got a lot of vaccinated people getting COVID. And I'm tired of them trying to make it seem like it's the unvaccinated only. You coming after our kids. You're not giving anybody any true data on the side effects or the long-term effects of this vaccine. How many of you remember, Bill Gates talking about this population control? Population control has always been an issue, a back conversation. I said back conversation. You know what I'm saying? Behind the door conversation, however you want to call it. When you think about society, the powers that be, the 1%ers, the whoever you want to call them, feel like it's too many people on this planet. And in order for them to get more and to have more, you need to get rid of people. People need to die. We need to, you know what I'm saying? And over the years, they've done that in many different ways. I ain't gonna speak on it because that's not, but they have. Y'all know that. And now here we are at another impasse with this pandemic. They want to yell conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory, every time somebody says something that people don't agree with, especially when it's got to do with the government or the powers that be, they yell conspiracy theorists. They throw that shit out there. Nah, it's not conspiracy theorists. They try to make people look crazy. But if y'all sit your asses down for a second and just think about it and look at shit, you'll see you would see the bullshit. It ain't no conspiracy theorists. There's an agenda here, okay? And the fact that y'all don't see it is so crazy to me. Because I can remember years ago, where we are in 10 years ago. It's 10 years ago? 2002? When SARS came out? Where'd that come out at? And I ain't trying to blame nobody. Let's go there. We're going to stop it right there. Y'all say conspiracy. This is Conspiracy Thursdays. How about that? It's Conspiracy Thursdays. Check us some realities. Conspiracy Thursdays. Okay? Since I like to say conspiracies, theories. Where the stars start at? Where the stars start? Okay? And then you had the bird flu. And around that time, in that specific area, they started wearing masks. You would see it on TV when they would show that area of the world. They were wearing masks all over there. The billions of them. Because there are billions of them over there in that country. I mean, all of us in this country, as many makes up, what, a billion? Maybe. But in that little Pacific area of country, billions. It's crowded over there. Okay? They're already regulating you on how many kids you can have. They're already trying on that. They're already working that population control. But let's just go back to the fact that, they were already wearing masks over there after SARS. This is 10 years ago. And I remember watching TV and when I would see that, images from over there. And I'm saying over there, and I'm not being specific with the place because, nowadays people always got some shit to say, like you trying to blame somebody for something, and they want to cut you off and censor you for shit. I ain't trying to blame nobody for nothing. I'm stating fact, okay? And I don't have to say it. And those of you who really paid attention, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Y'all know the group, the race, the peoples that I'm talking about. And they were wearing them fucking masks in 2002 after SARS. And then now it started trickling over here. I would say maybe you got 2002, maybe like 2003 and 4 and 5. I started seeing more and more of them wearing those masks here in this country. Okay? Because I was a driver. So I would go into a lot of areas. And, they have a lot of areas in Queens that's their own. And I would start seeing all these masks on their face in this country. And I would be like, oh, why are they wearing masks over here? Like, I don't know why you wear masks over there in your country. Because I used to wonder why. But they got a lot going on. I thought it was something to the air. I don't know. But why over here? Okay? And I'm just seeing this. And then now, fast forward. We looking like them. We all in the streets wearing masks. Masks everywhere. Yo, it's really like a freaking movie in this world right now. Globally. And this all started in one area. An area that is overcrowded. And wants population control, needs it. And it's funny to me. But anyway, my mind digress, conspiracy, whatever. But that's what got to me. And then on top of that, all of a sudden, when it first came out, it was just COVID. Now all of a sudden, it's SARS COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking on it, and this coronavirus has been around since SARS. SARS is a version of coronavirus. It's weird to me how we never heard the coronavirus back then when they were talking about SARS. They never said anything about corona. They just said SARS. So, all these things be popping in my head when I think about how things are going and I don't understand how other people don't see it and how other people ain't recognizing the shits and just giving up their freedoms, their liberties to these people, allowing them to put shit in your body. And then you have businesses going along with this. Like, unvaccinated people spend money too, you know. You want us to show you a card. First of all, what the fuck happened to all the HIPAA rights? What happened to the HIPAA laws? Where you ain't supposed to be disclosing your health records, your health info, your private health information. Like, you want me to show you a card so I could come in there and spend my money supporting your business? Really? That's what you want me to do? You ain't never asked me for that shit before. That's discrimination. You might as well be like, no, black chick, get the hell up out of here. No, Jew, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? No, Spaniard, we don't want you. Like that, y'all might as well be discriminating like that. Talking about some of the unvaccinated can't come in there. But yet you still want me to order takeout. You will take my money for that. You want me to do takeout. But you won't allow me to sit up in your space and eat. When you can't wear a mask, eating or drinking in the restaurant. And even though you're vaccinated, you still pushing out the fucking COVID. You can still catch COVID. So what the fuck is the problem here? Oh, excuse me. What the fudge is the problem here? What's with this? Why I need to show you a vaccination to sit in a space of people who can still catch and give the virus? Does that make sense? We said common sense, right? CheckUrReality. We said that's what they're using. Common sense. That's what we said. Common sense. That's what our governor, Kathy Hochul, said. Common sense when she was threatening, who was that? Mount Vernon's governor or mayor? When he decided to allow his district or his area to decide on their own about wearing masks in school and all this other good stuff. I need to move over there. And she told him, or said it plainly, that anybody who is expecting governmental funds should abide, thank you, by the mandates if you want to continue receiving funds. Basically, do what the fuck I said, says fudge I said, or you get no money. That's what she said. That's what the governor said. She said it on Channel 12 News. I seen it. You seen it. I recorded it. I think I still recorded it. Come on. I posted it. I believe I did. They don't want to let me post nothing, but yep. That's what I did. What's her name? Kathy Hochul? Kathy Hopeful? I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I told you I'm not being rude. I just can't pronounce her name. But our governor, that's what she said, okay? Sure did. But she used the word common sense. So, are we in that zombie apocalypse where nobody's using their brains? They just robotically walking along and accepting what the hell they're being told? Instead of trying to freaking question shit, ask about shit, inquire, at least. Like, what is this? Why is this? Look at the picture. Don't just look at the surface. There's other stuff behind that. There's things in between the lines. Like, I mean, what's up? Y'all don't see it? And coming after our kids, yo. I heard that this thing may possibly sterilize your kids or sterilize people, period. I don't know if that's true or not, but they don't know if it's true or not either because they still doing the study. This whole thing is still a study. The FDA didn't approve. They just agreed with the requirement. All this data that they're taking from all of you that are vaccinated, the data that they're taking, okay, that's the study. So in a couple of years, they'll be able to put it out and finally approve it formally. Because now they have the data and, you know, the side effects and stuff, the actual side effects, recorded side effects, and recorded accounts of what this vaccine is actually solving, if it's solving anything at all. Okay? Y'all stuck on the fact that, oh, it keeps me from dying or getting on the ventilator. And that's not necessarily true. And they're not going to tell you that. Who wants to create a panic? You know how people be looking at movies and they say, oh, it's just a movie, but nah, it's not just a movie, yo. You look at, there's a lot of things in the movies that are now coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a premonition or a mad scientist or a mad someone who's seen it and was like, yo, I want to make this a reality. I want to make this possible. That was interesting to see it come to life or actually be a thought. Maybe I can make that real. But there's been pandemics and epidemics and movies, all contagions, all types of stuff. Okay? They have many movies. I've seen a few movies. Actually, I got to write down their names, where it's just like this. They gave you a home test for you to test to make sure that you're not contagious or you don't have the virus. If you have the virus, you must report yourself, or you should report yourself. I've just seen a movie like that. It was on Netflix, I believe. The ash, there's some ash that came out of the sky out of nowhere. And it was causing women to die. Be infertile and die. It was causing women to die. They was catching some virus from this ash and they were dying. And men were the carriers that caused them to be, I believe, infertile. It was just some metaphoric nonsense, but, you know, that's how they do it. They put it like that. But if people pay attention, you'll see. But I digress. I don't know how long I've been talking. I still have so much more to say about this virus, about this vaccine. I don't like how every time they predict a surge happens. I didn't know that they were seers. Okay? I didn't know they were seers. But a surge happens. For me, who controls the data? Like I said, I'm not a scientist, a biologist, a doctor, whatever. But they control the data. The test goes to their government-funded sites. So if you want me to be positive, I'm going to be positive. Without any symptoms. Asymptomatic positive. You know? It is what it is. The numbers need to go up in order to create the fear and the panic in people for them to get their asses on that line and get that vaccine. Get that vaccine to your kids that you don't even know what it's going to do to them in the long run. So what if they get an enlarged heart, right? Fuck it if they can have any kids and it ends right there. Your lineage ends right there with you. So what? You won't never have no grandkids. Huh? They won't have no grandkids. Who cares if they have any grandkids, huh? Who can, just take that risk out of fear. Out of fear that was put into you by your powers that be. Okay? Because that's what they did. They manipulated y'all. Continuous commercials and airplay telling you about the unvaccinated and the possibilities. Yes, like I said, people did pass. People do pass. You can't run from death. You can't. Everybody's body is different. Things don't affect you the way it affects me, the way it affects her, the way it affects him. So yeah, you can put that shot in your body and you seem to be okay now. Okay? And they'll put it in their body and they are not okay right away. Okay? Because that's the way things go. Like they said, right? Pick and choose your risk. Everything is by chance. But your body is built to naturally do certain things that you don't always need science or medical assistance. Sometimes you have to allow your body to do its job. What it was built for. I don't go out there and just pick up germs and throw it in my face, but I don't sit there and go crazy over it either. I allow my body to fight whatever germs that I interact with. Period. Okay? And that's how it should be. Now, when I need assistance for medical, I'll get assistance for medical. I mean, I've taken Theraflu and, you know, I've gotten shots. But all these things, they really aren't good for us. You know what I'm saying? You know that it's benefiting this cause while it's giving you 5 other ailments. That's what medicine does. That medication, virus, vaccines, all them shits that scientists create to put in our bodies. That's what it is. That's what happens. Okay? We are built in a certain way and our bodies don't react well to certain things. Throw us off balance. Just like, you know, this earth. Powers that be want to sit here and continue to get more and more monies. And so, hey, they do whatever they do by any means necessary to keep it flowing. They get mad money for each shot. I'm sure you get a lot of money for that shot. Who owns them companies? Who has stakes, stocks, interests in those companies? Y'all don't sleep on them Netflix documentaries, okay? Because I learned that a lot of seats, Congress, Senates, House, councils, assemblies, all have investments in these companies. Some of them sit on the boards at one time or another. So, I don't know. Who benefits from the pandemic? It sure hell ain't us down here at the bottom or on the lower level. So, y'all really need to, I pray for y'all. Nobody likes to hear it, but I pray for y'all. Because this is not funny. And these people don't give a damn about you. They just care about their pockets. They don't give a fuck about this shit. Excuse me. Fudge. They don't care. How about that? They don't care whether you survive or not. Okay? All they care about is the agenda. Until y'all recognize that, y'all gonna be slaves to the rhythm. I'm just saying, oh, this is my point, and this is my check your reality. This is my point, my opinion, my point of view. You ain't gotta like it or agree with it. If it makes sense to you, hey. But, you know, pay attention. Changing yourselves. Teaching yourselves. Teaching yourselves what? Our body translates its own messages within our body. It teaches our body to do what it needs to do on its own. Why do I need to put something in my body to teach my body how to do something on its own? Bringing me to another point. If I already got COVID and I have built my own natural antibodies, my own natural immunity, why do I need a vaccine still? Why can't I come into a restaurant and eat my food? Because technically, I'm already immune. I've already built my own immunity naturally. So why can't I come in there? If you let the vaccinated in there, because they have an immunity or antibodies, why can't I come in there if my body has already built up antibodies because I survived COVID? Make that make sense to me. I don't support any restaurant, and I don't think no one, everyone, should feel that same way and not support any restaurant or business now or after. Take out, I'm not taking out from you. If I can't come sit in there without being carded, I'm not taking out and I'm not spending my money with you. Because my money matters too. I see restaurants, y'all don't have many people in there. I don't know how you're going to pay that high-ass rent and them bills by excluding us. And those of you that are unvaccinated, if y'all support these people by giving them your monies for takeout, you just as bad. You deserve that discrimination. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. If you can't let me in there without being carded, then I'm not giving you my monies. You go ahead and live off of the vaccinated. Because there's many more unvaccinated than there are vaccinated. And we spend money. That's a call to action right there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got to stand together for something. Can we make that a norm? Can we make that something? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I got more to say, but I done said enough right now. And I don't want to be rambling on, you know. I was on Google, just Googling my ass off, like, you know. But people should go and Google shit. Get more involved in information on this whole thing that's going on. Look at it for really. Look at it for really. For really. See the bullshit. Because even this nurse I posted, the nurse said it. She was on News 12, okay? She was on News 12. What is her name? What is her name? What is her name? What is her name? Donna Schmidt. She is an RN. And I posted her interview on News 12. I posted it on Reality Check You. Okay, because they wouldn't allow me to post it on here. I'll try and repost it on here, on this one. Oh, my time remaining is 20 something minutes. Anyway, 27 seconds. Like I said, I'm going to go. But Donna Schmidt, I'll talk to y'all again soon. Peace and blessings and love. Check your reality, yo. Check your reality. I'm out.